All right, guys, one thing I realize you guys probably want to see that I don't show enough of, which is the rad airplanes that come out to these kind of events and getting a little walk around and a little bit more of an understanding of the nuts and bolts of them. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Let's go run into a few friends of mine, chat about their airplanes, and show you some of the most badass bush planes at High Sierra 2021. All right, guys, this is my buddy Jeff, and you have probably the craziest one. It's a 170? 175 out there.
Yep.
Tell me about this thing, because I've seen you make a lot of smoke. And I know that you have big slats and
epic,
big prop and some other stuff, so tell me about it.
So I found it in a hangar and sitting there for 20 years and it never moved. Okay. And so it had the original GO300 on it, and we pulled it out, stripped that, went firewall forward 0470. As an STC, we didn't do any of the crazy experimental stuff until we said, okay, Kyle Bushman, of course, says, let's put slats on it. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, let's go experimental and put slats on it. And I go, okay, you know, because he's the mechanic. I'm just the guy that wants a cool airplane, you know? And so we started talking about stuff, and the first thing we did was 31s. I wanted a seaplane prop because I like that, and seaplane exhaust. And then we started going in and we ripped the interior out. One of those guys that says, you know, you want the interior? And I said, well, it's kind of nice. And he goes, pocket knife, shoves it in there and goes, nope. And there it came out. So we saved all that weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did the slats, Carbon Concept slats, and then we went to, I replaced the wheels, brakes, double puck brakes, got a baby bush wheel, and 80-inch prop. And then we went to the interior, and instead of, I pulled the Cessna seats out, and we bought the takeoff Razor seats that everybody throws away.
Oh yeah, I have thrown these away from my Razors.
And we welded them in to the Cessna seat rails.
Okay.
And then changed the angle so they sit like race car seats.
Reclined, I see that. Yeah.
And they lean forward, and
oh, nice.
Inertial reels on them. Yeah. We did a basic panel, but I wanted a G5 and I wanted a JPI engine monitor just for safety, and the 760. Yeah. I got an iPad running the eye level bomb out there. And then back here, I'm a little slow, and I know why. I refuse to give up my smoke tank.
Yeah, there's 8. Well, your smoke, that works well.
There's 8 gallons of smoke in there, and I could be faster if I took all that weight out, but I'm like, it's so much fun. Yeah. So we did extended baggage. It's got the jump seats in it. We moved. One thing we did that really went experimental was the battery on these is normally right here. Yeah. This is the battery door in a 175, and it's right here. We knew we needed aft CG, so we moved it back 1 bay and put a new door in. This is a new door here, so the battery sits back. Gotcha. And then we added the extra weight back here, which is in an STC for the 470, but we went almost 30 pounds. Wow. So I have to take it out when I'm fully loaded. Yeah. Because it's just not right. But for racing, it's perfect. Awesome. Yeah, plus with the smoke. And we raised the gross weight, tested it to 2,800 pounds. So a stock 175 tricycle is 2,350. With the 470, you get 100 pounds, and then we went to 2,800 pounds. Wow. And tested it, and it'll do it. We did Rock Springs, 95 degrees, no wind, fully loaded, full gross, and I was maybe 700 foot takeoff. Wow. Yeah. Slows down with the slats. Yeah. But I don't want to give up I gave up the speed for the performance of the slats for the slow flight. So yeah. You know how it is. You give some, you take some, and I'm so happy. And I ran good today, and yeah, it's been so much fun. Well, thank you, Jeff. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for showing us your plane. Absolutely. And good luck out there tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys, you probably already know who Steve is. If you don't, you should. Steve and I, well, we've been buddies for a while now.
Quite a few years now.
And not to toot your horn, before I was even into this kind of flying, I used to go on YouTube and watch all of his videos, because you were doing like dead stick takeoffs, like literally rolling down a hill without the engine on, taking off, landing on a gravel bar at the bottom, never turning the engine on at all. Yeah. And he would go and land on like any steep side hill, like where no plane should go. That was Steve. So if you haven't yet, check out his channel. But in this clip, I wanted to talk about your airplane, because Steve, again, for those that don't know, pretty much wins everything when it comes to STOL competitions. So This is Yeehaw 6. Why don't you give us just the quick and dirty rundown? Tell us about the plane.
Well, it's a Just Aircraft. That's the manufacturer, Just Aircraft Highlander. And I've been selling these kits for 10 years.
Yeah.
I started flying them about 15 years ago. So I just like them. I like how they fly. I like the attitude. I like the flaps and ailerons.
Yeah.
I like the adjustable seats. I like the big baggage area. There's so many things I like about it. So I've just stuck with it. So that's what it is, a Just Aircraft Highlander. This one has the Edge Performance Apex 300 horse turbocharged Yamaha engine, which is really, really fun.
Yeah, that's a Yamaha Apex snowmobile engine.
Yeah, that's
turboed.
what it began as. It's turboed, it's got different rods and, you know, it's built up inside to handle the boost.
Yeah.
And it just makes a really fun engine.
And what do you make horsepower-wise?
300 horsepower.
300, and what do you weigh empty?
800, right at 800, maybe a little less.
Wow.
I haven't weighed it in a while, but right now it's got these little bitty tires on there because we're out here the High Sierra fly-in for Stoll drag racing.
Yeah.
And there's more braking power, and just there's a few reasons that these work for this. It's the only time I like these little tires. Otherwise, I've got at least 29s, if not 31s.
Yeah.
For, you know, when you land out, you know how it is, out in the rocks and sagebrush, you gotta have some big tires or
Yeah.
keep you safe.
Yeah.
And it just, when I first tried big tires, the fun factor just went through the roof. There was no going back.
Yep.
No going back, except for something like this event.
Yeah. And then so I'm seeing some wind, I don't even know what you'd call that. It's like
I don't even know what I call them
fence.
either, but they're, I guess, drag inducers.
Okay.
What
It's like an aerodynamic counterbalance. I was just talking to Toby about that. Those are definitely just adding drag, right?
Yeah, and that's why I thought about this.
Like
It's
a
kind of a
split plate.
counterbalance drag inducer.
Yeah.
As well as the ones on the wing, you know, all these things are just to make drag when I'm slipping.
Yeah.
Because in this Stoll drag race, part of it is going quickly. And part of it is slowing down quickly. Part of it's turning around. There's all the little components, but one of them that's really important is that slowing down while you're in the air. And then you also have to slow down more when you're on the brakes, on the wheel.
Very cool. And then the rest of the Highlander, pretty stock
It's
then,
pretty
right?
stock. I have a cuff on here
Yeah.
that helps it. Anybody can put it on their Highlander, and I highly recommend it.
The cuff.
Yeah.
And you've got the
slower.
The Super Stoll suspension on the tail.
Yeah, which
And-
is fantastic suspension.
Yeah.
There's like a foot of travel, all dampened.
Yeah, and are you running weight back there?
For this event, I do,
Yeah.
because that stopping is so important.
Yeah, you don't want to
So-
nose over, so.
Yeah, I got a little weight in the tail. Most of us do.
Yeah.
Out here doing this.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's my everyday flyer. People like to say it's highly modified. Well, it's a pretty wild engine in there, but other than that, it's really not that modified. There's small things that I do that anybody can do.
Yeah.
That's what I focus on, is things that when people buy kits from us, they can do the same things and have, you know, just as cool of a Highlander as I do.
Awesome.
I want to pass it on.
Yeah.
Spread the fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
All right, this is Toby, and your airplane's Sarge, right? This is not the first Sarge,
And now I'm like,
but Toby won Stoll Drags at Reno. And have you ever won out here?
Won in 19.
You won in 19. So,
We got the belt.
yes. Now tell me about your plane, because this thing's pretty unique, and that's what this video is going to be specifically about, is how cool all these airplanes are out here. So.
Well, this is Sarge II, and we had a good run with our Lycoming powered Carbon Cub, and we decided to put a little different firewall forward on it for this year. So we've had really good luck with it. It's a Kawasaki Jet Ski 310 Ultra Cub supercharged from the factory, 310 horse, and then we've been running good fuel and lots of boost and a little nitrous, and we're a little over 400 horsepower, weighs 850 pounds. So we've been real happy.
For reference, my plane is 930 pounds and I make 140 horse, and it feels strong. So, yeah. And what about this gearbox? Gearbox is custom. You guys, I mean, that's obviously no one makes that.
Brian Kelly had the idea. The Wright brothers flew on a bicycle chain, so we figured a good motorcycle chain. We could change the sprockets and gearing from 2.75 gear ratio to 4.25 in about 15 minutes, just switching sprocket sizes and the chain length, and it's worked out good for tuning and finding out the best combination.
And what did you do to your tires here? Is that new?
Tip tied, and we siped them this morning. We were getting a lot of crumble crumbles out there, and it was kind of balling up under the slick tire, like a drag race slick, so we put some bite on them, and it allows the tread to clear.
Did it help?
It helped a lot.
Oh, I bet.
So we've been real happy with it.
Yeah. And then as far as other stuff, is stock carbon cub wing.
Stock carbon cub, everything firewall back is all stock carbon cub. Rigging, everything.
So all of it's just the power plant. And then you've obviously got a little wind skirt down here. Does that help for slip?
Yeah, with no cowling and the radiators, we were losing some rudder effectiveness, so putting that on is straightening the air and makes the rudder more effective. So we've been happy
it's
with
the aerodynamic counterbalance, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing 3 of what I would consider some of the coolest airplanes out here at High Sierra, and I wish I had time to do more, but you guys know how I am always running around like a chicken with his head cut off. But anyway, before I go, I do want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. And for those that don't know, Squarespace is the ultimate platform to build a website and run your business. You start with one of their award-winning templates. You quickly and easily, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, craft it into your own beautiful, professional-looking website that works on both desktop and mobile. And they have features for every industry, so I don't care what it is you're trying to do. If you're trying to run an online store, personal blog, photo gallery, whatever it is, you can do that with Squarespace. So if you haven't yet, head over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to purchase, go to squarespace.com/Trent Palmer. They'll get you 10% off. Thank you again, Squarespace, for sponsoring this one. I'm gonna go get this dusty airplane cleaned up, get my dusty self cleaned up, and wrap out what was another awesome year at High Sierra. So you guys know the drill. Like this video if you do, subscribe if you haven't, come be my wingman. See you on the next one. Peace.